What's up, y'all? Welcome back out to the Mention in the Backyard. I'm out here. It's time to do a little bit of potting. So I've got a bunch of trade gallon pots. They're about 2/3 of the way filled up with dirt. This is just my regular compost mix. So it's topsoil and then a decomposed manure and mushroom compost. It's 1 part topsoil to 1 part of a 50-50 blend of the decomposed manure and mushroom compost. So they should have plenty of nutrients to get them through the winter. What we're going to be doing is taking all of our little seedlings that made it through. Y'all didn't see me plant these. I had a big tray. My wife got me one of those little bonsai starter kits and planted all the seeds, and mostly what I got was silk mimosas. I got two little Judas trees, a bunch of silk mimosas, and a couple of Japanese black pines. This one, as well as this one, which this one has not done very well. It's still got some green on it. I don't know what is going on here. My guess is a spider or something built a little web in it, and it just basically suffocated out that center bud. I'm gonna keep it. I don't know what'll happen. It'll probably not make it through the winter. That one will be living in. Actually, all of my seedlings will be living inside this year. I figure out a place to put them. So that they get a little bit of sun, but are still protected from the freezing. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is we'll just pop them out, and we can do it over the dirt. We want to just break up this root ball a little bit. I don't want to tear any of the roots. I just want to make sure that they have, they get kind of loosen it up a little bit. And then we'll just set that down in. And grab a scoop of our potting soil. And make sure that they are well seeded. Press down a little bit so that we have nice little tree. So these will all get done. Do that. A few of these, I did a little experiment. So in these larger containers, I did a mix of organic soil and inorganic soil. So it's got a little bit of my compost mix, as well as a bonsai mix. I had some trees that I had repotted last year, and I had some extra bonsai soil left over, so I was just figured I would try and figure something out there. So this one should also, the ones that I grew in the bonsai soil are a lot smaller than the ones I grew in the organic soil. So we've got something like that. I'll go ahead and pull out one that is in the regular soil. But you can see, like, the root development on this one is just all over. I mean, it is just crazy amount of roots. Let me see if I can get into this one a little bit. But I'm just taking my root rake and just very gently raking out the outside of this. But yeah, these things are just, the ones that were in the organic soil are just so much healthier, more vigorous than the ones that got planted in the substrate. I don't want to dig it out too much, just make sure that those outside roots have some place where they're going to be able to go out. Well, yeah, if you come in here and look, so this is the one that was in the bonsai soil. I mean, its roots are fairly healthy. I mean, they're very healthy. They just are not nearly as vigorous. And I mean, this thing is basically full of roots. It's just about root bound in that little 3-inch pot. So go ahead and plant them both. And hopefully these ones that I planted in the bonsai soil will catch up next year. We shall see. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be starting all of my seeds. Anything that I do from seed is all going to be definitely starting in just a regular compost soil. And then from there we'll move on eventually to an inorganic soil once they've actually had some time to develop. And again, just pressing down a little bit, make sure that all of the roots are in full contact with the soil. Because it's not a heavy substrate, like an inorganic substrate, it's not super rocky. Just this little press down should be good enough to make sure that all of those roots are in contact with the soil. There shouldn't be a whole lot of air pockets that you have to worry about. Again, these the Judas trees, they didn't put on as much weight as the silk mimosas did. I'm sure that's probably just a product of their growing habits. But some of these silk mimosas are pretty big for just a 8-month-old seedling. And again, we're just loosening up the root ball a little bit, and then filling in with soil. I'm just making sure that we have that. All right. So moving on to something a little bit different. I'll do the rest of those others off camera. But I've got a couple of seedlings that grew up. I've got one in this and then one in one of my Dawn Redwoods that I got from that fireworks stand in the spring. And we're going to come in here and see if we can't get these out without damaging the roots of the mother plant. Well, not the mother plant, but the plant that they're in with. We want to be able to there we go. The substrate they have them growing in, it looks like just a combination of topsoil and sand, or it might just be 100% sand. I'm not sure. But with this one, just replace some of that soil that we took out. On that, put that aside, dig down a little bit, make sure that these roots that were down low don't get too much and then cold later on in the winter. And this way, later on, when we actually do go to plant that, because that'll be also in this video, it's planting time. It's late fall, or coming into early fall. It is October the 7th right now. And we will be planting a few trees over in the side. Now that it's kind of cooled off a little bit so that those roots don't get fried up. We're going to go grab that other one. And again, bonus tree coming out. So this was $10 for this Dawn Redwood. And when I got home about 3 or 4 weeks later, I noticed a little green shoot coming up. And I was like, hey, those kind of look a little bit like maple leaves. And sure enough, as it's come up, we've got another red maple. This is going to be the same deal as that last one, if we can get it out. Squeeze. A good healthy root ball on that redwood. This could be hard to get out. Not too worried about losing too many roots on this redwood, because it's just, I mean, this thing is super vigorous. That thing is, man. And then a lot of good, clean, white growing tips on these roots. Hopefully all the rest of them look like that too. But they'll be going down in the ground, and probably next weekend is when I'll be doing those. It'll be in the same video, so it'll be didn't get a whole lot of roots with that, but hey, it's a free tree, right? So we'll go ahead, top this off a little bit. Bury it down, press that in. We'll throw a little bit more soil on top of it, just to make sure that those roots aren't too alone down in there, I guess. Make sure we get pull those bottom leaves off. So yeah, that's two new little maples. Yeah, and I guess I will see you guys next week in the same video again when I go to plant all of these Dawn Redwoods along with I have a Shimpaku juniper that's going in the ground. I've got a crepe myrtle that's going in the ground. I have a trident maple that's going in the ground, and that red maple that you just saw earlier, that one that we wired up last week. Yeah, you would have seen this video probably 3 weeks ago now. It was my little hurricane update video that I was able to upload on my cell phone. And yeah, so we're also, oh, I guess, before I sign off, make sure that I've got some soil in these old cups that we pulled those out of, because I wanted to grab and single pot these cuttings off of that Kingsville boxwood, just to see what we have. You can see in here, I can't really tell if that's new growth or not. That didn't seem to grow. It does have some buds coming out at the top of those leaves, but these are very slow growing. So we're about to find out if we got any roots. And we did get some roots. Not a lot of roots, but I mean, that's good enough for me. And these again will be spending time out or inside over the winter. Did I get it on all of them? Let's see. I sure did. That's another one. A little bit less, but yeah, you can see it's got two little roots coming off of it. So we'll leave that one down in this cup by itself. We've got this cup, this really heavy cup. It's got, let's find out how many in here. Quite a few, I would say. That one has roots. That one has roots. That one does not. That one does. Both of those do not. That one does. Yes. Yes. A little bit. All right, so out of that cup we had 1, 2, 3 that did not root at all. And remember, I just took these and stuck them down in the dirt. I didn't use any rooting hormone or anything like that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That other cup, all 3 of them rooted. So that is awesome. Excuse me. We've got another pretty full cup This one looks like it probably didn't make it. Again, yes, roots. Yep, that one that I said probably didn't have it, didn't make it. We'll put that over the side so we can remember to count this one. That one did. Actually, both parts of it have roots. It's a little Y, but if you look at it, this is rooted and this side over here is rooted as well, so I might cut that one in half and plant them separately. That one has roots. No. 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 Well, that's sad. That other bucket was much better. And again, no. Alright, so in this one, we only had 3 that rooted, but I can turn it into 4. I should be able to snip this one right there at the base of that. And they'll both have roots on them. And then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that did not. So basically the opposite order of the last one. And here we have another cup, about the same as the other ones. This has probably not made it. It's pretty dry. Yeah, no, it did not. There's a couple of them in here that have dry tips. This one didn't make it. This one did really well. Some very big roots. It's got 5 big roots on it. Right there. Other one. Next set, no roots. Next, yes roots, which is kind of weird because it's got dry tips at the top, but it does have roots. That one didn't make it. That one did. No. Yes. All right, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 out of 9. So that's also not horrible. So that brings me to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 new little plants that rooted. So we'll go ahead, get those potted up in their own little containers. But until the next time we do that, I'll show you the finished product later on in this video when I actually go to plant these Dawn Redwoods and the other trees that I had. So, all right, that was an awesome little rooting bit that I got. I have a whole bunch of new plants that I'll be able to grow on and eventually turn into bonsais. These will probably take 10 or 15 years. I'm going to go ahead, grow these out next year, and then I'll probably wind up planting these in the ground because they are very slow growers. So it's a Kingsville boxwood, so Those will probably go in the ground over there. About the time I pull these up. So it'll be a bunch of Kingsville over there replacing the Dawn Redwoods. And hopefully eventually those will get to the size that I can turn them into bonsai. So yeah, I'll see y'all in a little bit when it is actually planting time. All right, what's up, y'all? I'm over here beside the driveway, right along my fence line. I've got a little tent-style greenhouse that I'm going to be putting up over here. But first, what we're going to be doing is planting a bunch of these trees, the Dawn Redwoods, the 7 of them that I have, the 2 smoke trees. I got a trident maple, a red maple, and all the way down there at the end is that crepe myrtle that I got. So we're going to be planting these down in the ground, try and get a little bit of size on them. They'll probably be in the ground for a couple of years, so not this spring, probably not the next spring, but spring of 27, I guess, is when they'll be coming out of the ground. We'll keep them all kind of trimmed down as we go along, because we wouldn't just put some girth on the trunks. We don't really want them to get much taller, except for that red maple and of course the smoke trees. Smoke trees are just going to be yard plants. But what I've got is a bunch of little 12-inch tiles, just little cheapo 68-cent tiles from Lowe's. And what we're going to do is we're going to dig down about 4 to 6 inches. We'll put the tiles down in the bottom of that, and then we're going to plant on top of that. That way, what will happen is that flat bottom will force the roots to spread. And then every couple of months we'll come through here. We'll cut a line down the middle. We'll cut in between each of them. That way we keep the root mass kind of compact. If we cut out those roots that are spreading out, and we'll be able to have plants that are basically ready to go straight into bonsai pots. We'll keep them we'll probably come out a couple inches away from each of the sides of the tiles, and so we'll have about a 14-inch root spread. So 6 inches out, 7 inches out from each, from the center of the tree. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and dig these holes. Y'all don't need to see me dig holes. I mean, it's just taking a shovel, digging some dirt out. All right, so I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, so holes are all dug. Now it's time to get ready for putting everything in the ground. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of the soil that I dug up. I only saved about half of it because I'm going to be adding a little bit of compost, which this is my normal compost. It's half decomposed manure, half mushroom compost. And what we're going to be doing is 3 parts of this soil to 1 part of the compost. So we'll go 1, 2, 3 to 1. I'll go ahead and mix up a big batch of this, and then we'll start planting. All right, so we're here with our first one. This is one of those redwoods that I wired. I only did the 2. I never came back and wired the rest of them. All the rest of them did change color, but I'm not going to worry about those for this year. I think my forest may just be the 5 that I didn't wire, and these 2 that I did wire, I may plant up individually. Oh man. All right. So they've got a lot of good fine roots. And what we're going to do is we're just going to loosen up this root ball. And that soil that is on the bottom, that's going to be our layer that our roots are going to be growing in mostly. They'll be growing up as well a little bit. Not a whole lot, but they will grow up some. You come in here and take off the bottom couple of inches of needles. These weren't going to make it through the winter anyway. They haven't reddened off. They're not going to redden off. So we want to kind of come in here, and especially on these redwoods that have like super vigorous roots, we want to come in here and untangle as best we can so that we can kind of get that nabari to start spreading. Now this is the taproot. So if I take off just that, I'm not losing a whole lot of roots. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Come in here with my shears and just take off those two little taproots. And that way we can get a little bit flatter bottom straight away. And again, we're going to take these, and anything that's growing out to the left, we'll put on the left side. Anything growing out to the right, we'll put on the right side, front and back. There's not a whole lot of front and back. So we'll spread these out. Instead, we'll go like this. Spread this out towards the back. Spread this out towards the front. And then see if we can't get that to kind of just pile up a little bit. And anything that's out wide, go ahead and get rid of. So there we have that. Oh, I didn't quite push this unit close enough to be sitting down. We'll take our soil, and just pack it in around. And then we'll just fill up this hole. We'll run about that, so that's about 3 inches deep with our compost and soil mix. And all of our roots are about 1.5 inches below the top of this layer. So what I'm going to do is we'll pack this in a little bit, and then I'll come back and I'll top fill with just the soil. That way we're not wasting all of our compost. It should be plenty enough to get it through the winter. Everything out here except for the juniper are about to drop all their leaves. So this is really just enough fertilizer that I'm worried about getting them through the rest of the fall. Today is October the 21st. And so yeah, I don't have to worry about a whole bunch of putting a whole bunch of fertilizer in here. And this soil that we have in my yard, it's mostly sand. Right there, big clumps of sand. You can tell it's not clay because it's still kind of moist. And if you just squeeze it together, I mean, it's just super sandy. I'm assuming whatever happened, that one of the previous owners, maybe not the last one, but the one before that or the one before that, I don't know, of this house, took a lot of pride in their yard. So they probably came through and leveled it a couple times with sand. So the top, like, I mean, there's a lot of sand in this. I dug down like 6 inches in most of these, and it's still sand. So I don't know. I could just be lucky that I mean, there might have been a creek or a river running through here at one point back in the day, and it just deposited a lot of sand. But that's going to be really good for us because it's going to allow a lot of drainage. It's going to allow a lot of air to get down into the soil. So that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead, plant all the rest of these, and go ahead and get that layer of topsoil on there, and then I will see y'all in just a little bit. So the planting is all done. There is about an inch below, between the top of the soil that they're planted in and the regular topsoil. So I could probably have put a little bit more dirt in there. I might have put, I had a couple of holes in my yard that I needed to fill in. I might have used a little bit too much of that, but it'll be all right. So all the plants are, they're all planted. I'll put a little wooden fence around here until I get my greenhouse put up, just so this one doesn't come over here and pee on all the plants. Isn't that right, buddy? But yeah, it took me a while, like 4 hours, to dig 13 holes, untangle all of those roots, and plant everything, plus the filming and all of that stuff. That's not too bad. 13 plants are down. They'll be in the ground for a couple of years now. And we'll just see how they go. I'll keep y'all updated. And until the next time I see y'all out at the bench in the backyard, just remember to grow them big, but keep them small.